Hey, welcome back to a Doug Show podcast. This is a very special show. It is the 2016 Major League Baseball preview, and we will go division by division. We will break down the Cy Young and MVP award winners, predictions galore. So let's get right into it right now. Tomorrow, the season kicks off with a ESPN triple header. I'm excited because they usually just do that Sunday night game. But coming up tomorrow, we've got the Mets and Royals tomorrow night. But kicking you off early on in the day, we've got St. Louis, Pittsburgh, followed by Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Angels, Tampa and Toronto, and the New York Mets and Kansas City Royals. The only one of those games not on TV tomorrow is the Cubs and Angels game. But I like this. I like that they're going with 4 games tomorrow instead of just the one Sunday night game and then everyone starting up that Monday. I like it. Something new. And it gets the season going even faster, I think, and that's why I like it. Also, if you don't know and you are a T-Mobile subscriber, you can actually get the MLB.TV premium package this season for free. Yes, that is a $110 subscription during the season for a full season of every team, and you can watch the games on demand. You can watch them live. You can switch back and forth. The blackout rule is no longer in effect, so even if you live in a city with a major league team, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. And if you have T-Mobile, you're going to save yourself $110. And then they also this year are offering a package for $80 where it's just you only get your favorite team's games. And either way, you're going to save money this year if you have T-Mobile. And if you don't have it, you only have until the 7th. You have from April 3rd to the 7th to call in and let them know you want it. And if you don't have T-Mobile and you're a huge baseball fan and you're already going to pay the money, I would highly consider switching. Or don't, because they don't pay any advertising for this podcast. So I'll leave that up to you. All right. Here we go. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of this off of this article I'm reading right now. I read earlier, but I have it still pulled up. ESPN got all 31 of their experts, their baseball experts, to pick who they think are going to win each division, followed by who is going to win also the wild cards, followed by who is going to be playing in the World Series and who they think is going to win the World Series. Also, they have a one that is just for MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. So we'll start with Rookie of the Year. American League, the overwhelming person is Byron Buxton from the Minnesota Twins, outfielder. I don't know enough about everybody coming up. I think Joey Gallo could definitely maybe sneak one in there. But I guess you would have to think Buxton would really be the odds-on favorite, number 1 rated prospect in all of baseball. I see Byung-Ho Park is also on this list, and after what's going on with him and the Orioles, I don't think that's going to happen. But I would say right behind Joey Gallo would be behind Buxton. A sneaky one I'm reading on here, and this is from John Sciambi, has Luis Cervino of the New York Yankees. That's really it. I mean, there's Tyler White's on this list, and I mean, it's really Byron Buxton, and Byung-Ho Park actually pops in. Jason Stark has him. Dan Schulman has him. Jose Barrios from the Dodgers is also on this list. He is picked by, right there, David Schoenfield. All right, on the National League side, same story. You have one guy, and this one's even more lopsided. Corey Seager is the odds-on favorite to win the National League MVP. From everything I hear about this kid, I mean, I've heard Buster Olney all offseason talk about how he has some of the softest hands he's ever seen and just an amazing bat speed. I would have to give it, again, odds-on favorites to him. The National League, I just don't know who. I can't recognize any of these other names. Steven Matz, I know him. I can see it. Kenta Maeda, also a Dodger. Doug Padilla has him picked. So those are the names for that. All right. The Cy Young on the American League side, completely just tons of different names. Chris Sale, Corey Kluber, David Price, Marcus Stroman, Carlos Carrasco, Felix Hernandez, Chris Archer, Sonny Gray, all the names on this list. Dallas Keuchel on this list as well. American League, a little bit harder to go with. I'm going to say for the American League this year, and this was a tough pick for me, but I'm going to go ahead and say, even right now I'm still flip-flopping on this, I'm going to give it to Corey Kluber. And I don't know why I'm going with this pick, especially in that division that he pitches in, where he's going to have to face the Tigers and the Royals all throughout the season. Even the White Sox don't have a bad lineup. But there's just not a bad division in the American League. So that's why I'm going to give it to him. I think Marcus Stroman could be right there. Carrasco as well. Chris Sale, I'm not too sure about. David Price, I don't think he's going to be as dominant. The other two guys, Sonny Gray and Chris Archer, I just keep hearing lots of good things about this offseason. But I'm going to go with Kluber. I've just seen him pitch enough to know his ball to strike ratio is just really good. And I think over the course of a season, after a while, that just plays in your favor. Plus, those are big ballparks. Besides where the Royals play, those are some big ballparks in the Central. The National League. The names, you know them. Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke, Matt Harvey, Matt Scherzer, Jacob deGrom. These are the names, and I like this list of names because it is a good mix of younger guys as well as some established guys. Clayton Kershaw, best pitcher alive, easily. But this year, I'm not going to pick him. My pick for your National League MVP, Cy Young, I'm going to give it to Zach Greinke. I think this is the year he wins it. I mean, the guy's stuff already, his ERA throughout spring training has been 1, and I know it's spring training, but I think this is his year. I think he's just going to be so good. I don't think it's going to be that Kershaw has a bad year. I think he's going to be that good, and I also think Steven Strasburg is going to have I don't think people are expecting it from him. And I think he's going to be right there. I think it's going to be Jacob deGrom, Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke, and Steven Strasburg as your best pitchers in the National League this year. And I think Strasburg is going to set himself up nicely to become a free agent at the end of the season. And that's why I think Strasburg's going to have a good year. All right. American League MVP. The names on this list, you've got Manny Machado, Carlos Correa, Mike Trout, Tristan Cockcroft has thrown out Mookie Betts on this list. I think he's really the only name that kind of sticks out. We even have a couple guys like Dan Schulman going back and picking Miguel Cabrera to bounce back from injuries. This season, I think it's going to be Manny Machado's season. He already looks good. He's healthy. And I think this is the year he wins American League MVP. I don't think Baltimore is going to be very good, but I think Machado is going to shine, especially in that lineup. There are a lot of good hitters in that lineup. National League. Look at this. Tony Bellinger. I can't pronounce this guy's name, but he has Clayton Kershaw as his National League MVP. Bryce Harper, Paul Goldschmidt, Anthony Rizzo as picked by Alex Cora, Giancarlo Stanton as picked by Andrew Marchand. It's all the same names. Not many different names on this list. Bryce Harper, the defending MVP. But there is one person on this list And the guy who no one from ESPN, not one of ESPN's 31 experts, picked this guy, and he is my pick to win the American League. I'm sorry, I keep getting them mixed up. I'm staring at the American League stuff, that's why. National League MVP. And he's actually just batting right now. I have the game pulled up. His team is down 12-6 right now to the Reds. That's right. I'm picking the Pirates. Andrew McCutchen. He is going to be my National League MVP this season. I think he's poised to have a good season. I think the Pirates are in a make-or-break season as far as what they do with that team. And this is the first spring training that McCutchen's come into, and he said he's completely healthy and ready to play. So there you have it. Those are your Cy Young MVP and Rookies of the Year. Now, your division winners starting in my American League East. Now, most of the ESPN experts pick the Blue Jays, followed by the Red Sox, followed by the Yankees, who pick up 3, Tristan Cockcroft and Tony Bellagino picking the Yankees. Only one, Mark Saxon, picking the Rays. I think the Blue Jays will win the division, as much as that pains me to say. I think they will win it. I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think it is. I kind of worry about, after Marcus Stroman, I worry about their rotation. And you kind of worry about some of their hitters coming back down to earth. Is Tulowitzki going to be able to stay healthy all season? So those are things to look out for. Also, though, Jose Bautista, contract year. I don't think he's coming back. Carnacion, also in a contract year. So you can see big seasons from those guys. Will Donaldson stay where he was at last year? We'll see. But I think they're going to be good enough for that lineup to win the East and the Central. Man, just about every team in the Central is picked. The only team I don't see picked, every single team gets picked once. I see Cleveland popping up. I think they're right about even with the Royals. Even three Detroits, and two experts, Eddie Matz and Jim Capel, picking the Twins to win it. I'm not going to jump on the Cleveland bandwagon. I'm going to pick the Royals. I think this division, though, could be the best division in baseball. I think the Royals win the division, but I think they only win it by a game or two. I don't see a wild card team coming out of this division, only because this division is so good, and they're going to beat up on each other so bad. I think Cleveland will probably finish second, and not far behind that will be the Tigers. I think the Tigers will have a decent season. They will bounce back to form. And the Twins will be right. I think Twins will finish in last, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot. The AL West, only 2 teams getting picked. Houston, the odds-on favorite to win, followed by the Rangers. I think the Rangers win this division. And I think they win it handily because I think they're that good this year. I mean, look at the way they bounced back last year, making the playoffs, winning that division, and then they get Yu Darvish back this season for a full season. So I picked the Rangers to win, and I think Houston kind of falls back a little bit this season. I don't know if it's weather. Maybe some guys just overplayed last season. I mean, they fell apart pretty solidly down the stretch last season. So I'm picking the Rangers to win. My wild card teams for the American League, gotta go with the Yankees. Have to have the Yankees. And I will also have the Tampa Rays as the other wild card team. I think the Yankees edge out the Rays in the wild card game. I don't think Houston's going to be good enough to win the wild card spot. I don't think Boston is going to be good enough